Hi, everybody.
We're back for another drive around review.
Yeah, drive around review.
Yes. We just finished the next triptych of Andor.
Triptych. I can't. It's like you're saying triple dick. But yes, we did the next Andor section, and we still like it.
It's still good.
We still like it.
It's still good. It's definitely a much more gritty show than what we've seen out of Disney in the past year or so.
Yes.
So it is nice to see that bit of a much more.
I'm still digging the ground level, guerrilla warfare aspect that it's giving, and the grit and such to it. Although the thing I'm not too sure that I'm digging is it's so mild, but it's there. It's like the cursing, like a little bit more, bastards and ass every once in a while. It's very rare, but when it's just weird to hear it.
Oh, I guess I'm just too desensitized. I don't even think about it.
Well, and that's the thing, is like if you're watching every other show in the world, it's like, oh, it's just common language. But
in the Star Wars universe, it does seem a bit out of place.
It does.
I get what
and
you're
it's
saying.
like, and some of the expanded universe had started bringing in Star Wars swear words, and I just thought that would have been more interesting to start bringing those in. I think the swearing would have been a little bit more interesting, like Farscape and Frel.
Or even Battlestar Galactica and Frack.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, other than, I still think it's I'm still really enjoying it. I'm liking the pace of it. I don't mind the pace of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot slower, I think, than what we probably may have originally expected, in the sense that, we figured, this is all about the rebellion, so it's always, a lot of action and stuff. But it doesn't necessarily have to be, and it hasn't been so far. It's been a lot of, not necessarily exposition, but definitely a lot of, little bits of this and little bits of that, like why, how, where, like how things kind of fit together, and not necessarily rushing through anything.
I think it's, people say it a lot about shows, but I think this is certainly a show that is a slow burn. It gives you all the details, and then it comes together, and I like that it is doing that. I like that, in essence, they are hour-and-a-half mini movies
with the three of them together.
Yeah, and it's like, what's interesting with this one was that you had, these new characters that were being introduced. We were already kind of calling and figured out mostly who was going to die.
Oh yeah, totally.
And we more or less hit, I think, most of them. One character, we don't know where he died in the firefight,
or if he died. I don't know.
It was the guy that was in charge of the garrison. That was the
contact.
The contact. Yeah.
That seemed to know all about the Aldani and all that stuff. So.
We thought they were going to riot. We thought the natives
locals
were going to
have. Yeah.
He gave that look when he mistranslated, and he was like, And I was like, oh
yeah. So it was very interesting, because I did expect the Aldani to actually kind of put up some kind of fight, because they kept talking about, oh, they won't put up a fight, they won't put up a fight. So they kept kind of emphasizing that. So I guess that's kind of what led me to believe, oh, they're probably going to put up a fight. They didn't, which is fine. It didn't need to be there. There's already so much kind of going on. The one thing about this whole triptych section that I'm a little confused by, and I'm like, why are we still watching this guy, is the lieutenant that was from the corporate sector that got booted back to Coruscant. I'm like, okay, at first when they brought him, I was like, oh, so he's got a new job and he's got to go and deal with that. But now he doesn't have a job, and he's just hanging out either with his aunt or his mom or something. I don't know. I can't quite fully get the relationship on that.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of like, okay, why are we there?
They were just kind of dropping scenes to say, hey, he's still here, and he's still disgruntled.
Yeah.
But maybe he's gonna go after Skarsgård character. Maybe they'll bump because they did I think they did have a face-to-face briefly.
Oh, they did.
So
they did, I think.
I don't remember, but
I think when
but
Andor
I do
was
like
asking,
that, that he isn't forgotten, and it's like, yeah, right now you could remove him, but maybe by the end of the series he's going to be a more key character. So I think that's interesting. And it's interesting is like the perception of the mothers. Like, are they trying to say that is she mildly force sensitive, or is she just like a Bene Gesserit, very aware of the minutia of what's going on around her?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the whole Mon Mothma and Mr. Mon Mothma aspect of it as well. But
yeah, they set that up like like that dinner. I thought that was going to be a big scene. They had that whole argument about it.
Yeah,
and then you didn't get this dinner scene. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, that was a little weird. That was a little weird too.
But I do and I don't like the dynamic they're playing with her is that, she's, when they introduce her in the show and she's talking to Skarsgård character and she's saying how hard it is for her because people are changing. The Imperials are everywhere. There's spies everywhere trying to, not infiltrate, but, smoke out the rebels. So, it's interesting because they set that up and then you see her trying to battle with her husband and her family life and, and I don't know how much I like that, but I do. There is elements that I find it interesting because, like, what she's fighting for, and she's making the family sacrifice for everybody.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know how well it's landing, but I like it, and I do. I mean, segueing real quick from that is like I think, some of the costumes that she's been wearing have been really nice. I thought they were really well designed, and honestly, I like her whole appearance. To be honest, I don't know why. I can't tell you what it is. Redheads, maybe. I don't know, but but I just I like her appearance and things like that. But
I've kind of found her stuff kind of plain compared to Padme's.
Yes, but I think it's meant to be. But there's almost a contemporary vibe to her.
Yes, and that's
outfit,
true.
And I think that's
probably why you like it.
Yeah, probably. But I think that also is that works within. You saw her house and everything. It is very contemporary, so I think it works. It is very clean
look. So she has a very clean, streamlined look.
And I think that is just further part of her character.
Yes.
And it just, there's these things that come together. And one thing that the show kind of, it does and then it doesn't do, which is the whole show don't tell thing. There's times where it lays on information heavy, and they were doing it this triptych a lot with the one kid.
Yeah.
Whenever there was something that needed to be explained, like the whole phenomenon with the he just like blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, we didn't need any of that.
Yeah,
just it's a
really
natural phenomenon. Go on.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, I can't.
Phenomenon.
Words are new. But they had. I lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot, woman. How do you shut up your man? Just do.
But no, I mean, as far as what you're saying is, they do kind of like leave you kind of sitting there and trying to absorb things, and a lot of it is absorption through Andor. Obviously, he's our point of reference. So, I mean, he does pick up on things very quickly, which is one of the things I thought. So, I mean, in essence, for the mission, we didn't need to know certain elements, like the whole phenomenon up there.
Yeah.
We don't care. And then, the little box.
Oh yeah,
with the directionals, and it's like, what? I don't care.
But I do understand that was and is meant to show his character personality, his quirks. So I do understand that, but I think you can only show it once, and you're good. I don't think we needed it multiple times over and over. You could still do that with his character, and I think they did that in other scenes, but not. they did it in other scenes where it was appropriate and it kind of evolved the character and the story and the whole underlying rebellion theme every once in a while. But then there were other points where it's just techno babble and it was kind of silly.
Yeah. But I mean, one thing that we were talking about before and kind of going over some things with it is that the production value of the series is quite interesting, because it's nice that they're not using sound stages. A lot of their costumes,
sets, yeah.
A lot of their costumes are really nice, and you know, and they kind of give you a better feel of a culture and entering a world, as opposed to what Obi-Wan and even Mandalorian did.
Yeah.
And basically that's been kind of nice. But
yeah.
You know, the other thing is that, you know, there's also elements that they just kind of like slacked on, like the rifles and some of the technology that they used in the headset.
Yeah, the headset looked, like I was expecting to see a racing electronics logo on the side of the one headset. I'm like, is this guy at a race or what? Yeah, it's just, and then there was a tower that was in the background at one point. It just looked like an everyday, there it is, like scaffolding tower with modern day things all over it. So, and I know they're trying to use the modern day stuff to show a de-evolution of tech of sorts, like a more lower end spectrum tech to go against when you see Empire stuff. However, you got to do a better job hiding modern. It just doesn't work when you can just clearly tell that, oh look, this is a rifle, a modern day, Earthworld rifle. We put a couple little tweaks on it and it shoots a blaster bolt, but you could just tell that it's a modern day thing, and that's one of the things the show needs to improve with. I don't think it will, obviously it's already done, but that's something that gets jarring at times and then the costumes, they're really, they are nice, but at times there's something a little bit off about some of the costumes, like when they were the kids, when they were like the pilgrims, the natives in this part, where I don't know if it's the colors or, because they do look kind of worn and grimy, but there's something that feels off about the presentation of them. But overall, they're good costumes.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the native ones that they had. I mean, they looked worn, but they were still vibrant in color.
Yeah.
Is that what your problem was?
I'm not sure. I just think because it is so, it's more gritty and grimy and dirty, that the color should be more subdued and dialed back. And at times that maybe the colors are just too bright. I don't know.
No, I liked them. But I liked them the way they were. I liked the use of obviously natural fibers as well as fur in them. So, I mean, and natural dyes, there are a lot of very vibrant natural dyes.
Which I get. I get
to me,
it.
I didn't find a problem with it. So I really liked theirs specifically. But, that's basically it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's not quite a dig. It's just at times that the production value is like, it's up here and then it kind of like muddles about, and very few times, there's few things that are so low, but a couple of the things like rifles and other modern equipment, all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, what?
Overall, it was still very good. Still looking forward to the next.
Yeah, we are looking forward.
Triple arc, whatever it may be. So and whether or not they time jump or not, but it would be nice to see how it goes and go from there. So exciting to keep going with this.
I know,
one.
It's been enjoyable to have
a good Star Wars show for a change.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Mandalorian, a lot of people love. Obviously, we all love, Baby Grogu. But, this is a very good series for Star Wars that doesn't deal with Jedi, doesn't deal with Force.
Like
it's just like every other day person out there. And there's a whole universe of those, as opposed to like the 5 Jedi that survived the Temple massacre kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see, what the rest of the galaxy had to do during the occupation of the Empire.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Yay,
Cool.
going forward.
Yeah, so thank you for riding with us again. And
we'll catch you next time.
We'll keep doing these every 3 episodes.
See you then.